Hey y'all, I'm back with another video. I haven't talked my ish on here in a while, and I mean a long while. So today y'all in for a treat because today's video, we are here to set things straight regarding the fact that Bayley versus Io Sky will not be main eventing night one of WrestleMania and discussing why they deserve to do so. Now, Triple H,
I got to give it to you guys.
I really got to give it to you because for the second year in a row, you've managed to debunk the Women's Royal Rumble winner out of the main event of WrestleMania for a tag match. Yay! Oh my God. Unfortunately, it has been made official that Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins versus The Rock and Roman Reigns will main event night one of WrestleMania, leaving Io and Bayley out of the main events, unfortunately.
And pointing at that sign means exactly what I said. 2 main events, April 6th.
It has finally been said on air, and when I heard Cody say that, I just felt a piece of my heart just break off because it's just not really making no sense at this point. See, here's the math. Royal Rumble winners are supposed to be guaranteed a main event at WrestleMania, right? Right. Okay, so you got 2 Royal Rumble winners this year, Cody and Bayley. You have 2 nights of WrestleMania, night 1 and night 2. Easy math, right? Right. So what I'm not getting is why do they be going against what they say, what they put as the rules, what they have as the prize to win the Royal Rumble?
The last remaining superstar will be declared the winner and will go on to main event WrestleMania!
So my question to WWE, specifically Hunter himself, why aren't the women guaranteed their main event spot that is, verbally announced at the beginning of their match? I really, really want to know, because recapping the last 3 years of WrestleMania, shall we? Let's. Starting off with Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Now, even though that we eventually got in them the main event night Raw WrestleMania, I will not forget how much of a hassle, how much it felt like it was a wild goose chase to figure out if they were going to main event or not. Because number one, during that time, WWE was not mentioning it. They was not mentioning the main event. So that was a hassle. Then starting a hashtag to advocate for them the main event. Like, it shouldn't get to that point. It should not be a debate. It was a debate between their match and Drew McIntyre versus Bobby Lashley for the WWE Championship. And people's reasoning was, Drew didn't win the title in front of a crowd. Their storyline is better than Sasha and Bianca's. To be honest, during that time, during that WrestleMania build-up, hardly any of the storylines was very interesting, not very compelling. Like, it was, no matter which way it went, it didn't make any sense for Bianca versus Sasha to not main event because Bianca won the Rumble. It's in the principle. So I don't get why is it such a hassle. I'm glad that they main evented, but it was a hassle. It was really a hassle for them to be promoted as the main event, to be talked about as the main event. It was just too much. Now, moving on to the next year, 2022, WrestleMania 38. Now, a quick thing I forgot to mention was that Sasha versus Bianca was the first WrestleMania with 2 nights. So that's why we started 2021. Anyways, to this match, yet another hassle for the women to main event. Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte Flair. Now, I am not the first person to say that I did not like this choice of the Royal Rumble winner and the choice of match. But the same thing. A hassle, this time with no main event. The start of the streak of no WrestleMania main event for the women. Now, the storyline wasn't, and the match didn't, cover up with what the storyline looked like. But can't ignore the fact that they got pushed out. They got pushed out for Steve Austin's comeback match within the last, 20, 30 years. I get it. It was his hometown. I get it. He's a big star. I get it. But it's just that they wasted that girl's win. Because she came that was her first night back. The Royal one was her first night back. They wasted that woman's time. And now she out here saying that, she will never come back to WWE. And it's, she out here just trashing them. Like, it was a waste of her time. It was a waste of the audience time. Like, the match didn't live up to its expectations because her and Charlotte have somewhat of a good chemistry, but, I kind of get why that was debunked, but, still in principle, still was a hassle and a waste of time. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. Let's just move swiftly on to the next match. The last match out of these 3 years, we have Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Another hassle, no women's main event. And it's just crazy because, they had a great story to tell, and it wasn't told. Remembering last year, it was not told. And Hunter wanted to sit on his big chair talk about well, the Usos versus Sammy and was a bigger story than theirs. But Rhea versus Charlotte couldn't have been bigger. They have history. They have longer history than the tag matches history. That all could have been played out, and their storyline could have been main event worthy. But he chose to not make their storyline main event worthy. And it's just again, announcing that the winner of the Women's Royal Rumble will main event WrestleMania. I don't think it was said, but it was in the writing. You see it right there. It was in the writing. So it's just it's not making sense. It's not making sense because both Charlotte and Rhea have good chemistry. They are great talents. So there was literally no excuse as to why they shouldn't have main evented. Because their storyline could have been main event worthy. The history was right there staring in his face, but he did not pick anything up hardly. The storyline was not good, but, I'm glad that their match pretty much stole the show. I'm going to put it out there right now. It was better than the tag matches. I'm not saying that their match was bad. But Charlotte versus Rhea, they lived up to the expectation that they should have main evented. It's just such a hassle. Charlotte versus Rhea not main eventing. And you see time again that they have good matches with each other. Matter of fact, great matches with each other. But his explanation to it just makes me scratch my head. Just take a listen.
It's all about what is the most impactful, right? And as the storylines played out heading into WrestleMania, to me is the most emotionally and storyline driven match on the card, right? And I felt like that needed to be, I think we all felt like that needed to be in that spot. I've said this before when people have, when we've talked before about, you put the women in the main event. We didn't put the women in the main event. That's the spot, right? That is the storyline that was driving things to put them in that role.
Y'all could go and listen to the WrestleMania press conference from last year. But I get what he's saying. But it's just dating up to now to this year, it's not the same thing with Bayley and Io's storyline because it is emotionally driven. Probably even more than the tag matches, if I'm being honest. But like, it's not just about that. It's also about the lack of promotion that Bayley has gotten. I mean, from promos, maybe not like her outside doing like promoting all that, but like as far as like the posters go and her being advertised a lot, I just haven't been seeing that, Royal Rumble treatment compared to Cody now and compared to Rhea last year, Ronda the previous year. Like, it's just like they really made them not feel main event worthy to not be talked about as a possibility to be main eventing. And not only just a lap promotion for Bayley, but also just plain charade like the last 3 years. Just be upfront about what's going to be main eventing. Like, people say, oh, it's obvious that the tag match is going to be main eventing because look at who is in it. I see who's in it. I do. I see someone who just came in just about a few months ago. While these women have been working year long building up their story. Building up the suspense, the tension between each other. And building up Bayley to the point of her winning the Rumble. It just doesn't feel like that she did because they're not treating her like she did. It's a constant disrespect with her I'm feeling. I'm really feeling it because it's just like, again, it's not the same thing with their storyline compared to Rhea and Charlotte's last year. It has more a compelling element to it. It has layers to it. I mean, we have not only Bayley versus Io at the top of this storyline, but we also got a tag match with the rest of Damage Control versus Jay, Bianca, and Naomi. It's adding on. Like, you get what I'm saying. It's not, in the sense of, there's nothing happening. They have been building this story up. It's been compelling, it's been entertaining, it's been strong, and it is big enough to headline. It's big enough to main event night one, but they just acting like, it shouldn't because, you got The Rock in this match, you got Roman in this match, you got Cody, you got Seth. But thinking about it, this tag match wasn't really necessary, and it was only built off of one press conference. Gone wrong. You have The Rock who has not been in a one-on-one match and a match hardly at all in the last 10 years, and you have Seth who is freshly off of an injury, competing 2 nights of WrestleMania. It's just like, I know that they have grueling schedules and they are used to it, but not The Rock. Like, you have 2 women who have been working nonstop. Bayley specifically for the last 2 years building up their story. And it's just kind of unfair. I understand that the tag match is bigger than Bayley and Io's match. And I say that very lightly. When comparing the star power, the ratings, and the combination of storylines and history within the tag match, I understand. But I am just tired of Hunter putting the women in the situation of removing the Royal Rumble winner and the champion of their choosing out of the main event. I wouldn't be too upset if they would just be upfront with it by saying that they're not going to main event and this match is main eventing. And just not have the announcer before the Royal Rumble match to say that they are when they're not. And it's unfair at this point. It is unfair that the women haven't been guaranteed and have been questioned of the main event spot the last 3 years. And just treating it like their story isn't enough when it should be made to. Looking at the tag match, all of these men have main evented either once or countless of times, while neither Bayley or Io have. this might not be Io's only chance to possibly main event Mania because she's got long ways to go in her career compared to Bayley. I feel that, this might be her only chance to main event because you see how long it has been since she's been world champion and in a position where she's a top baby face. And she's in a top babyface role where she's being really over with the crown and in a position to possibly main event Mania. Ain't no telling when she will ever get the chance to main event WrestleMania again, since her and Io aren't now. I am just tired of us women's wrestling fans and the women wrestlers themselves having to constantly advocate for what is fair for them to have and demand WWE to keep a match on the card, to have time, to be booked, to main event WrestleMania in which they won a whole entire Royal Rumble match to have. I am just sick of having the same conversation year after year at this point. The men main event WrestleMania all the time. Just one night of the women's Royal Rumble winner, and the champion that they chose to face in the main event is going to hurt the men's match that they chose to debunk them out of their spot. Do what is fair at this point to the women. Just asking for one night. Just one. Word of advice to Hunter. If the women aren't guaranteed their main event, then don't have the announcer to announce that they are guaranteed that they will main event. Instead, while just having just months on end go before WrestleMania of a wild goose chase, trying to figure out who's main eventing. And then once you say it, it's just like, why waste people's time into, trying to guess who's main eventing at this point? And like knowing what the day that the women will have their match. Matter of fact, do that for both the men's and women's. Don't say that they're guaranteed the main event. Just be upfront with what match is going to main event. Be upfront that this match is not going to main event. For both, for equality. If we're advocating for that, I will advocate for both of them to not be announced that they will main event. Just say that they're guaranteed a title match and we cool. We cool. But it's just like, I'm tired. It's been 3 years now. I do not want to go to 4, 5, 6, 10. I'm tired of this. Let's get it together. Especially for next year. To close this out, I just want to say how proud I am of Bayley. Her Royal Rumble win was a special sight to see in person. She has come a long way since debuting Damage Control, putting over Dakota and Io and the rest of the roster for the last year and a half. And to know that she will finally be having her crowning moment for it all come WrestleMania against Io, despite them not being in the main event, I couldn't be any prouder of her. Anyways, I just want to thank y'all so much for listening into this rant. Longer than all of my videos. Like, we at 18 minutes right now. I didn't think I would talk that long, but I just have a lot to say. I had a lot to say about this because it's tiring. 3 years of this is tiring. It's tiring, but I just want to thank y'all for tuning in. This well-needed rant. This well-needed rant on this matter. More videos to come within the next months. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. I'm still, working on things, trying to tweak things out. We don't got no intro. And I cut out the outro because we working on things. We working on polishing, my content. So for right now, I'm the outro. Just like, comment, subscribe, and enjoy our WrestleMania week because child is gonna be tiring, and I got a lot to do. And school ain't no joke, my job ain't no joke. Everything is not no joke. Anyways, I'll talk to y'all soon.
Y'all, bye.